Testing. Hey guys, real quick. So I wanted to jump in here real quick. I've been playing a little bit today once I got done from work, and I ran across something that I haven't run across in a little while, and I want to point it out to you if this works out correctly. I'm flying around in my junky little courier that I made yesterday. If you want to watch that video, it's there from yesterday. How I just basically filled fit this ship out with a bunch of junk pieces to it. Um, but hopefully this works. What I'm basically doing is going through the asteroid belts like I normally do. Um, just trying out different things, seeing how things work out. If you notice, I'm being pinged down here a bit in the overview here. I just came across um, 5 ships, 3 of them being transport ships, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so if you notice, I've targeted the Archpriest. I'm killing that off first. Now I'm going to go after these transport ships. I'm not going to kill off this other cruiser that's here, the regular Blood Priest. I killed the bigger guy first. I'm going to try to kill off these couriers next. Reason being that a lot of times, and this happened to me out in Nullsec space. I did a video a long time ago on this, maybe about a year ago, where I ran into this. And if you run across these guys in space, they are usually carrying a bunch of minerals or ore. Um, Now, but if you kill off their um, all of their protective fleets, if I would have killed both of these couriers, there's probably a very good chance, if I'm correct, that the uh, the trucker and the courier would actually warp off, so I wouldn't be able to attack them. So I'm killing off every ship, every defense fleet before I go after, um, except for one. I'm killing them all off except for one, and leaving that guy here so I can kill off these guys. Now, hopefully I can kill these guys. Looks like I'm not having too much of a problem. And I can show you, I'm hoping inside of these ships that there are some minerals and some, um, what you call it, and some ore that I can get to build more ships. Looking forward to doing some PvP this weekend. Now, if you notice, I am within range of this priest right now, but I am not shooting at him. I'm letting him just sit there. You just hang out, keep shooting at me for a while. I have been messing around a bit while I'm waiting to get closer to this courier here. No hands. um, and one thing I'm kind of running into is this little part right here. If you notice, the cap neutralization that the blood priests or the blood um, ships do. Um, is it the blood cartel? My brain ain't functioning right now. Um, because there's major bonuses to flying Amar ships when you're doing NPC routing uh, with the ammo, because you don't have to worry about ammo as long as you have regular crystals in there. You don't actually have to worry about reload times. You also don't have to worry about switching out. Um, you don't have to worry about switching out. I've killed all of those couriers. We're going to kill off this last priest here, and we'll go check out the courier and the trucker, see what he's got. Um, the major negative is your guns are tied to your capacitor. So one thing that I was having an easy time with my Thrasher and using that as my destroyer was the projectile weapons use very minimal, if none, if no capacitor. Notice here he is pinging me down here in my capacitor, so he's basically taking away my ammo. I ran into a problem in a belt a little bit earlier where I was taking down a battleship, and he took out my ammo. I couldn't shoot him. Um, So ironically, and I'm going to keep messing with this. I know there's some defenses to it, but it might actually be better for me to fly. Okay, let's. Well, we might as well check out the guy that's close to me. We'll check out the Blood Priest first, and then we'll go over to the Courier. Um, it might be better for me to fly Minmatar ships out here in Iridia to do um, my NPC uh, death dealing. Whereas uh, I might want to use my I, my NPC Amar ships in another area. So that's going to be a place that doesn't deal neutralization. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Minmatar actually do um, their E-War is uh, target painting, which really wouldn't that be that big a deal. Um, if you watched earlier this year when I moved out to Stain, the Courser was a great little ship to get started with. There we go. Okay, so not a whole lot. This courier only has 0.25 million titanium, but it is titanium. It's free titanium. It's a million there. Um, Let me just see here. I'm going to fly over to this. I can't put, obviously, it's 2,500 cubic meters. I'm going to have to go get a hauler if I want to pick this stuff up. That's just another reason why you want to do this. Um, but what you call it? Yeah, I did a great job out in Stain, which is not the Blood Cartel or whatever it's called. Um, I think there's Sancha or another group. What is it? There's the Blood. There's a Sancha. There's a Serpentis. It might have been Serpentis, but I did really well out there with the Coercer, and then I moved up to a Omen for the first time, and with when I was doing the Amanda Rose videos. So that worked out really well out there. So it might be good. Okay, so look at this. So the second courier has just base isogen, 3 million worth. Most important, we're going to check out this trucker real quick just to see what he's got. Do, 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 do. The most important thing here is to show you guys to don't kill off all of the escorts because these ships will fly away. Okay, we got a little bit more titanium. We got twice as much titanium there. Now, why is this really, really important? I will tell you, a year ago, I ran into the same thing out in Nullsec. And while this isn't a huge amount of um, minerals and ore that I can get right from these, I will tell you this out in Stain, um, each one of these haulers would normally carry anywhere from 15 million ISK worth of ore to up to 80 million ISK that I ran into. Now, it's not an often thing that happens, but whenever it does, that can really help you to build new things out there and get you ahead, or if you just want to sell this stuff. But the most important thing, there's two things that you want to do. Number one, you want to have you don't want to kill off the escorts. Number two, and this might seem logical, you need to have a hauler around. When this happened to me out in Stain, I didn't have a hauler out there. And so and these wrecks will only sit around, I think, for 2 hours. I didn't have time to go get a hauler. There were no haulers to be bought. So I literally was picked out, I think, the ship with the largest cargo bay I had, and just flew back and forth for like 2 hours for a little while just to get what I could. I think I was able to get enough in it. And there'll be some rare ores that come through, like Noxium and some of the other stuff that normally you can't get out in an area like that. So I just wanted, this was a rare occurrence. I wanted to pop it up there and let you guys see it. Kind of a short video here. I'll be still flying some more. I'm messing around right now. I was able to kill, if you watched the video yesterday where I built this courser, scavenged parts still. Earlier today, I'll just bring up the really bad fit here so you can see it. We got nobody in system, so I was able to scavenge a few more parts. Um, so I got one more gun. So now I have four long-range guns and three short-ranged right here. So I got one that goes 15, two that go 15, two that go 13, an 8, and a 7,000 meter gun. So you're if you've never watched my videos before, you're like, what in the world is he doing? This is how I have fun with the game a lot. This is actually one of the most enjoyable things for me to do is whenever I scavenge stuff, to build something and see what happens. I still have one more slot here I can throw in here. I've got rig spots here. Um, but I can do this sort of thing without putting out a big expense. I built the ship. This ship is only worth 7.9 million ISK. All the parts here were scavenged from other ships. Whenever I had the Thrasher out here, that was either built by me or basically fit. Um, Definitely room for improvement. The one major issue that you run into with a coercer or any destroyer, it is basically a glass cannon. You need to shoot things before they shoot you. Um, and the other negative for a coercer is that it only has two mid slots and three low slots. Mid slots are usually used for shield defense, where your low slots are usually used for your armor defense. Well, out here fighting the blood, whatever guys they are, it's ironic that I can't remember the name. They do EM damage, and shield is the lowest part that I have here, so I'm going to take that damage that they're throwing at me. So the question is, um, do I rig up shield defense to try to do better out here on the defensive side? Or do I put my uh, gun increases here and go with an armor defense? And then maybe do something with that extra mid slot? Because 99% of the time, you're gonna have on your ship a prop mod. So I'm literally limited. If I'm doing that, I'm limited to one slot in the middle slot. So um, this kind of goes to an idea that I had a long time ago. Uh, Something I think would be really cool, and I'm going to end it with this thought, and maybe if you guys have some ideas on this. It may be way too much to code for the Eve gods from CCP, but I've always thought of this. If you could modify, you could basically have like a body shop skill or skills where rather than building ships, building the actual ships themselves, if you could take a ship and modify it to like basically taking it to your local body shop and fixing up your car into a hot rod. Um, Now, when I say this, I say there should be definite detriments to something because it would lose the uh, the special parts of these ships by doing this. A coercer would no longer be a coercer. I think if you guys have ever played any role-playing games where they say you have to take negatives to get positives when you're creating your character, I always believe that the negatives should be more than the positives. But look at this ship right here. So let's say I wanted that third slot in the middle area. Imagine if you had a skill to do body shop mechanics on a ship to fit, and you could take in a coercer and by whatever skill you have, um, you could adjust. You could throw it into the hopper, into your, and over the course of time. You could change one ship. It wouldn't be a mod. It wouldn't be a blueprint or something like that. It would be one ship that you could do. And for let's say at level one of this skill, you could take two slots from other areas and remove those to add one slot. Now, I know this sounds weird, but let's say I didn't want to put rigs on here. And I could remove off two slots to add in one slot to the medium. So I'm actually losing something to gain. But you could come up with some interesting stuff. Let's say I wanted to remove off four slots. Let's say I wanted to go with 7 guns, no rigs, and that extra slot, remove all four of those off and put two middle slots in there. I don't know if this is because coming from, I used to do uh, program testing for a company years ago, how hard this would be, or even if it would be worthwhile. But man, would that be kind of interesting. And the whole idea would be a body shop. Basically, you're removing off something to make a hot rod or something like that. And you can only do it once per ship, so that ship would become yours. It would be that special ship. Imagine if you decided, um, I want to get rid of all the guns and make this a super fast ship. You know, uh, I want to remove everything off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So let's say we remove off 12, and we throw them all into low slots to do something. So we would add in 6 slots to the bottom. Maybe as your skill got better, um, it would either just like doing a blueprint time and material, you could um, do, let's say at level 4, you could like level, well, let's say level 1, it would be 3 slots to get one slot. You'd have to remove off 3 slots to get one slot. And I'm just spitballing here. At level 2, you'd have to do um, uh, 5 slots to get 2 slots, so 2.5 to 1. See what I'm saying? Um, and something like that. To whereas if you got level 5, maybe you could hot rod out a ship um, to a 1 to 1 or a 1.5 to 1 or something like that. If you understand what I'm saying, but that would be just kind of cool. I don't know. I would hate to see the coding, but if you guys think that would be kind of cool, feel free to comment. Every once in a while, I kind of think about stuff like this. That would be kind of neat. But I'm going to be messing around with this. The reason why I like to do the scavenging part of this, I just want to make sure I'm not being targeted here. Okay. I'm not even looking to see if, I know nobody's in local, but I don't, NPCs could have rolled in here. Um, uh, so I love flying this way with the scavenge because it's going to force me to try different things out. I was literally testing out earlier on that battleship that was hit me with the EM, not with the EM damage, the removing off my capacitor, trying to range it out. I'm thinking about actually trying to use that. There's a piece of equipment that will actually scan ships and tell you their defensive capabilities and stuff like that, because I think that might be kind of neat. Yeah, I could look it up on the web and see what everything is. I don't want to do that. This is the fun part. This is the role playing and doing it. I don't need the cliff notes. Now, if I can't understand something, maybe I'll look something up. But if I can figure it out on my own, I will. Wow, this video got a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. Cool. So, I have a whole weekend coming up here. Tomorrow, I might have some really good news. Find out at about noon my time. So, um, that would be. I'm trying to think. That's 5. That's 17 hours from now. So about 1700 tomorrow. I might get some really good news that I can announce, but I won't be able to announce it until probably 20 hours from now because I'll have to drive home from there. So I'd love to get some good info. I might have a really good news. I might have um, okay news, or I might have some, "Oh, okay, it happened. Nothing bad can happen tomorrow." So I'll announce that tomorrow. and probably be playing a lot today and tomorrow and over the weekend because if the good here's the weird part. If the good news happens, we're going to warp to our save spot here while we're sitting here because somebody just came in the system. Um, if the really good news happens, it means I'm actually going to be spending a lot of time at home the next 3 days. Uh, and one of the things I'm going to do to pass that time at home while I'm is playing Eve. So I'll be on a lot this weekend. So, but other than that, that's all I got for tonight. As you can tell, I'm a little bit more awake today than I was yesterday. Man, yesterday was rough. So I hope you guys are having a great weekend. This is the beginning of my weekend. Um, and hopefully I will talk to you soon and we'll have a good one. Hey, fly safe, fly dangerously, fly hard like you want. And have a good one. See ya. Bye bye.